Welcome to our presentation on an issue of social and contemporary significance.
Our research focused specifically on the impact of television on preschool children. Preschoolers watch approximately 15 to 20 hours of television a week, according to US surveys. Television characters are mostly stereotypical and one-dimensional. Not surprisingly, the most permeating influence on the development of preschoolers' gender schemas is television. Gender schemas refer to a set of knowledge and beliefs about the roles and behaviours of males and females. Preschoolers generally have stereotypical and inflexible gender categories. Their gender schemas, in turn, influence their toy and activity preferences. Now we look to research to consider how television is influencing the development of preschoolers' gender schemas. Abigail Walsh and Campbell Leaper conducted a study in the US of 34 preschool television programs that aired in 2015 or 2016 to monitor what messages are being communicated about gender. They analysed traditional and popular stereotypical gender representations, behaviours, and appearances. Their findings included male characters still largely exceed female characters as predicted. However, surprisingly, female characters were given more talking time than male characters. Contrary to their hypothesis, female characters were no more nurturing or considerate than male characters, and there were no significant difference between the self-assertion of male and female characters. Violence in preschool education programs is forbidden as stated in the Children's Television Act of 1990. Hence, the presence of aggressive behaviour was seldom depicted by male or female characters. The stereotypical feminine activities of performing arts and fine arts were found to be reinforced in television shows. However, the reinforcement of stereotypical male activities of construction and physical activity was not evident. Gender stereotyped appearance, including what colour and accessories males and female characters were depicted in, was strengthened by television shows. For example, females were mostly depicted in purple and pink, and males blue, red, and black. Moreover, whereas male characters were presented with a range of body shapes, female characters were very seldom presented with heavy body shapes. This study raises a number of concerns. Firstly, the predominance of male characters could indicate to preschoolers that the stories of males are more important and of more value. Another concern is that television shows implicitly discouraged boys from participating in stereotypical feminine activities like dancing. And unfortunately, the reinforcement of stereotypical gender appearance further strengthens preschoolers' inflexible gender categories.
I would like to present two observations I have done in the kindergarten room in relation to how popular culture influenced children's behavior. The first observation: there were three girls and they were engaging in an imaginary play. Sophia, one of those three girls, had a purple sparkly dress she bought from home, and they took turns wearing the dress, and they were pretending to be princesses. One of the boys, which is Archie, went to the girls and asked, "Can I be a princess too?" And then Sophia said, "No, you can't be a princess." And Archie said, "But I like the dress." And Sophia said, "Rapunzel is a girl, not a boy. Boys can't be princesses." And Fiona said, "Boys don't wear dresses." And Sophia said, "If you want, you can be the prince. You can rescue the princess." And Archie said, "Okay, I will be the prince, but I want to wear the dress." And all the girls started to laugh, and Archie just walked away. The second observation: there were 5 children who were very good friends. 3 of them were boys and 2 of them were girls. All of them were nearly 5 years old and were able to engage in cooperative play relatively well. One day, when it was the book week, those three boys, Leo, Arlo, and Louis, came dressed up as Spider-Man, Superman, and Batman. They were running in the outdoor setting pretending to be superheroes. As usual, Olia and Mia went to join in. And Leo said, "We are not playing with you today." And then Mia asked, "Why not?" And Leo said, "We are superheroes. I'm a Spider-Man." And then Olia said, "We can be superheroes too." And then Arlo said, "You are a girl. You can't be a superhero." Then he pointed at himself and said, "Look, I'm a Batman and he's the Spider-Man and he is a Superman. They all are boys." Both those observations shows us that how some children form their understanding of gender roles based on popular culture. It is very important to challenge those children's stereotypical understanding of gender roles using well thought out teaching strategies.
Inclusive evidence-based learning strategies meeting diverse student needs. There are endless opportunities for educators to have a positive influence on gender and how this can create positive and healthy environment for learning. This can be done using evidence-based learning strategies. One of them is play. Now we know that learning occurs through play. It is evident that when children play, they are creating their awareness about social world and normal behaviors as well as gender differences. Children tend to construct their play based on what they have learned from the adult world, observing the adults, what role they play, and how they present themselves. This is also mostly influenced by popular culture, such as children's TV shows, where they are exposed to gender differences. Hence, they learn about gendered ways of being who they are, how they think, and how they act and interact. So as educators, they can use play to promote gender equality in early learning centers. This can be done in many ways. For example, do not limit children's activities. Allow both girls and boys to play freely. Use variety of resources to identify and extend boys and girls' common interests, such as use games, physical activities, use humor, fun adventure, music, imagination, and fantasy to identify and extend boys and girls' common interest. Intervene in children's play when gender differences arises. For example, challenge dominant masculine play by boys and demonstrate that strength and courage can be shown through cooperative play and caring for others. Toys. Educators must be aware that gender differences can be generated by the selection of toys. It is important to know that educators as well as children can both reinforce gender stereotypes by selecting toys for one gender and not the other. This will preserve gender inequality in learning. Selection of toys can become a way in making children to accept gender differences. Educators must correct this. As educators, we need to understand that limiting children's access to certain kind of toys will mean that we are limiting their opportunity to engage and learn certain skills by which the toy enhances. Hence, it is important to pay attention to the selection and arrangement of toys. This can be done, for example, by promoting changes in placement of toys, such as placing dolls in the block corner and Lego in the home corner. Do not label the toys as boys or girls' toys. Make them to be neutral. We have this comprehensive Aboriginal resource kit, which includes an Aboriginal serpent and ladders games, Aboriginal people game memory game. It's a set of 8 Aboriginal people puzzles and a set of 8 Aboriginal themed art style poster. Now, this selection of toys not only helps in gender equality, but also helps in promoting diversity among children, especially in relation to the Aboriginal people. Another example, we have diversity in dolls. There are dolls from different cultures and religious beliefs, such as Muslim doll, for example. They can be accessed through Billboard Early Educational Resource Site, or the dolls from Kmart that represent different needs of people with different conditions. They are unique resources for creating awareness and also for encouraging tolerance, acceptance, and respect. Educators who deploy resources that reflect our wider community into the learning environment encourage children to react positively to differences between people and allow children to feel accepted for who they are. They also encourage children to broaden their worldview. Storytelling. Storybooks are great strategies encouraging discussions, creating awareness, and challenging gender stereotypes as well as differences. Educators can empower children through books to promote gender equality learning and break down gender stereotypes. Picture books can be used to encourage discussions, broader thinking, and directly challenge harmful gender stereotypes. They aim to provide educators with a range of stories which provide broader ideas about who girls, boys, men, women, and people who identify as diverse genders can actually be, what they can be interested in and achieve. It is important to challenge gender stereotypes to ensure children's aspirations are not limited by traditional ideas about what girls and boys can do. Some examples about these storybooks are called a book called Different is Beautiful. Now, Different is Beautiful is a fun and educational big book filled with brilliant, vibrant images which we can discover how different we really are with our different faces, hairstyles, dresses, lifestyles, languages, and hobbies, etc. We are all different and beautiful in our own special way. Another book is Jacob's New Dress. Jacob loves dinosaurs, trucks, pirates, playing tag, and wearing dresses. When people begin teasing him, Jacob decides to take a stand. Now, a story to help children who don't conform to gender stereotypes. Another story, The Paperback Princess. This is a classic and much loved tale of a princess who outsmarts a dragon on her way to rescue a prince. Perfect example to show equality in genders. Conversation. Educators can invite children to think about gender through talking and discussions, promoting questions that helps understanding how they play and how specific aspects of their play might have been affected by gender differences. These questions can be, for example, we can ask the children, what kind of work does your mom do? What kind of work does your dad do? Can they help one another? What do children like to do? Do they do these things because they are a boy or a girl? What do you think boys like to do? What do you think girls like to do? Are these the same for everyone? If you are a girl, can you play with trucks? Can you be a firefighter, for example? Do firefighters use trucks? If you are a boy, can you play with a door? Can you wear a dress? You can also relate this to differences in cultures, for example. Can you name country or cultures where boys and men do wear dresses or skirts as their traditional clothes? Can you find some from the People Around the World set? Now, this is a set of toys that are specifically made for introducing culture, traditions, values, etc. It is a set which has a real life photo of a child in traditional dresses from their country of origin, and these countries can be from different nationalities such as Australia, Africa, China, India, Japan, and much more. The use of this set is to promote discussion on different cultures and ethnicity and how gender is viewed through these cultures.
That concludes our presentation. Thank you for listening.